Hi, this is Gary. You're watching Ludington State Park, and we're going to go on a view from the air. This is a flight. There's a picture of me, and this was taken about 5 years ago, back in 2008. Okay, here we are in the plane, and we are taking off. Now, if you'll notice in this picture, I'm going to circle right there. That is the north part of the state park, and to the left is Lake Hamlet. I got it in blue there. And we're going to keep flying along here. We get higher, and then we get higher, and as we're approaching the lake, finally we turn. We get to Lake Michigan, and we turn, and we start heading north to Ludington State Park. Now, the actual drive is about 6 to 7 miles, and here we're heading down toward Lighthouse State Park. As you can see, the little trail coming in, and I've highlighted that trail in red here. That's the road that you take, and it's quite long. If you definitely want to take a vehicle or a bicycle, you don't really want to walk it unless you're a long distance walker or a long distance runner. And in the middle there, I've highlighted a private lake. That is private property, but the stuff on the red line is the road to the state park. And we keep flying, and we keep flying. There's another view of Lake Michigan there. Another view of Lake Michigan. You can see the different depths and along the little road around the shore. Now, there's a lot of different places you can stop along the shoreline there, and it's a really beautiful view. Would recommend it if you're down in the area to take a look at that. And another view of Lake Michigan here. As you can kind of see the little trail parks coming in. I wouldn't say there's that many places to stop, but there's quite a few places along the side of the road you can stop. The next picture right here, and I'm going to circle the part where you pay to enter. That's the red part right there. And so usually I would have a state park sticker and just drive through there. So that's where you pay to enter the park. And the blue line right there is kind of where the Big Sable River goes, and there's a dam, I'll show you in a later picture, that holds up the hidden lakes in there. Now, the next picture we're looking at right here, or the next part we're looking at here, is the lighthouse I've circled in red, and I've got two little pictures of that. That is a beautiful view and a nice little path to go to. What I'll usually do is I'll jog from the pay to enter spot around there, and I go all the way along the shore to the lighthouse, and then I'll jog back. It's not quite 2 miles. It's probably about 1.95 miles. See, about a 3.9 mile round trip. But it's a nice view. You know, jog around the beach one time, and then jog down the inside trails the other time. And I'm going to highlight where the lighthouse is in relation to the map here. I've got a little map I've drawn. I've circled in red where the lighthouse is, and now I've circled where you enter, that point right there, and that's where it shows on the corresponding map here toward the top right hand corner. And then there's where the hidden lake is that I was talking about earlier, and that's a result of the dam. It's a really nice area to go kayaking in. I've gone there several times. You can rent kayaks there, or you can take your own. Now, if you look on this map in top right hand corner, there is a light blue line. That's a kayaking trail that heads south along Hammond Lake. I've tried it once. It's not the best, and once you get out on Hammond Lake or on Lake Michigan, the water's choppy and it's not the best to kayak. From my experience, the best kayaking is either the Big Sable River, which I showed earlier, or the hidden lakes or the hidden island trails in that area right there. There's some nice little islands you can go kayaking to. And I'm going to show next here, I'm going to show the camping sites, or the campground sites, and there's basically 3 big campground sites, and they're pretty big, and I've highlighted the corresponding spot where that would be on the aerial photo here. And we're going to continue flying. There's a nice picture. Lake Hamlin's up top, and Lake Michigan's on the bottom. And you can see on the bottom part of Lake Hamlet is the hidden island trails, which is a really nice spot to go kayaking, and they're nice trails as well. And you can see the little island in there. Now we're going to go by the lighthouse there. Nice view of the lighthouse. There's another angled view of the lighthouse, and yet another view of the lighthouse, and you can see Lake Hamlin up top and Lake Michigan on the bottom. This was taken on a Saturday morning. It was really nice weather. I ended up actually going to the lighthouse afterwards, and there's another view of the lighthouse. Now we're heading back on the flight, and you can see Lake Hamlin and the hidden lake and hidden trails I was showing. First off, I have drawn a red line. North of the red line is nice kayaking, and south of the red line is on Hammond Lake, and that water is pretty choppy. I don't like venturing out into it. I mean, you can explore if you want, but it's much safer and stuff to just stay in the kayaking trails because the water is not very choppy. And remember, the area north of the red line, or north of the red line in this picture, is that was actually land, and because of the dam that was built, which I'll show in just a minute here, that they rose the water, so that created some of the islands and stuff that you see there. Now the next picture I showed are my favorite 3 little islands to go kayaking to. There's a big one on the left. That's probably the best one. The second best one is a little tiny one on the right. It's very small, but it's kind of fun to go in. And then there's another one I've got in the middle there. A little bit more challenging to get at. And there's some nice little hidden lagoons in there, right by the middle one. Now this next picture I have is the dam I'm talking about. I've kind of tried to shrink up a picture, or blow up a picture of the dam, but I've circled where it's located there, and that's obviously on the back side. As you can see, that's probably like, I don't know, 5-10 foot high, and that's how much higher the water is all around Lake Hamlin. That's been in place for quite a while. I think, if I remember correctly, when I went to the nature center, that dam actually, there was a sawmill there, and it was probably over 100 years ago, but the dam broke and it flooded, and it destroyed a lot of the stuff in there, and then had to be rebuilt. Now this red line, this squiggly red line right here, is part of the Hidden Island Trail. It's about where it goes when you walk on it. It's a beautiful trail to walk in. I'd say it's one of my favorite trails there, or probably my favorite one, because you got little islands and then nice little bridges and stuff. It's a nice little trail. And up top, I've circled, is the beach house on the front. That's usually, if I was to go jogging to the, if I like to go jogging to the Lighthouse, I'd start over there and then go to the Lighthouse and then come back on a different trail, but I go along the lake shore on the way there or something like that. And this part I've circled right here is on the Little Lost Island trails. It's a really nice view from there, because you can see both Lake Hamlin and you can see the lake to the top of the screen there. It's a really nice view, and it's kind of nice to walk through there. And it's also really nice to go kayaking under. Now we're heading back slowly. There's a view of Lake Hamlin. There's another view of Lake Hamlin, and let me just point out on the map here, a little map I've drawn here to scale. Now if you notice the little X I have right there, that's the bottom of Lake Hamlin. That's probably where we are in the map. And to the top left hand corner is the private lake, which I showed you earlier in the early photos. Now let's move on here. Here's Lake Michigan to the top, and we're just heading back more, and then we get to the last photo here, and I'm going to circle it. That is the pier. About a 15 to 20 minute flight. I'd say it was worth it going down there. The last time I went, I think it cost about $65.